The night sky exploded with fire and light. Hyunwoo stood on the deck of his cargo ship, watching something massive tear through the clouds. It was burning, breaking into pieces, falling toward the ocean like a dying star. His crew rushed out from below, pointing and shouting. "What is that?" Taemin yelled over the roaring sound. "I don't know," Hyunwoo said. His heart was racing. "But we need to be careful." The ship's alarm started blaring. Ji-won ran to the controls, her fingers flying over the computer screen. "Captain, the radar is going crazy. There's debris everywhere. Big pieces are hitting the water nearby." Hyunwoo grabbed the radio. "All ships in the area, this is cargo vessel Morning Star. We have a situation. Unknown object crashed into the ocean. Requesting immediate assistance," static came back. Then silence. "No response," Ji-won said quietly. Sang-woo was already putting on his protective gear. "We should check it out. Someone might need help?" Bora, the medical officer, grabbed her emergency kit. "If there are survivors, they'll need treatment fast." Yejin was the last to speak. "This could be dangerous. We don't know what that thing was." Hyunwoo looked at his crew. They had been together for 3 years, moving cargo across the Pacific. They were good people, brave people. He made his decision. We go look. If someone needs help, we help them. That's what we do. The ship moved slowly through the dark water. Pieces of strange metal floated everywhere, glowing with a weird blue light. The material looked nothing like any aircraft or satellite Hyunwoo had ever seen. It was smooth, almost alive, pulsing with faint energy. "Over there," Taemin pointed to something bigger. "That looks like a pod or escape capsule." They pulled closer. The pod was the size of a small car, egg-shaped and covered in symbols that seemed to move and shift. Part of it was cracked open, smoking. Sang-woo threw a rope and pulled the pod alongside their ship. Together, the crew used the crane to lift it onto the deck. The metal was hot but not burning. Up close, they could see inside through the crack. "Oh my God," Bora whispered. Inside was a person. At least it looked like a person. But the skin was wrong, crystalline and translucent, glowing from within with pale blue light. The being was tall, maybe 7 feet, with long limbs and a face that was almost human but not quite. The eyes were closed. It wasn't moving. "Is it dead?" Heejin asked. Bora pulled out her medical scanner and held it near the crack. The device beeped wildly, showing readings she had never seen before. "No, it's alive, barely. The heart, or whatever it has, is beating very slowly. But look at this." She pointed to the screen. "Radiation levels are through the roof. This thing is dying from radiation poisoning. Can you help it?" Hyunwoo asked. "I don't know. I've never treated anything like this. I don't even know what it needs." Taemin was examining the pod. "Captain, this technology is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. This isn't from Earth. This is alien. We found an actual alien." The words hung in the air. An alien. A real alien dying on their deck. Sang-woo stepped back. "We should call the military. The government. Someone important. They'll take it away," Bora said. "They'll put it in a lab somewhere. It needs help now. Not in 3 hours when some official arrives." Hyunwoo stared at the being inside the pod. It looked peaceful despite everything, like it was just sleeping. He thought about all the times someone had helped him when he needed it. The stranger who pulled him from a burning car when he was young. The doctor who stayed late to save his sister. The teacher who believed in him when no one else did. "We help it," he said firmly. "Taemin, can you open this pod safely?" "I can try." Bora set up the medical bay. "Use whatever you need. Ji-won, keep trying to reach someone, but don't tell them exactly what we found yet. Hyejin, Sang-woo, help me move this thing once it's open." "Captain," Ji-won said carefully. "This could get us in serious trouble." Hyunwoo smiled. "Probably. But what kind of people would we be if we just let it die?" No one argued. They got to work. Taemin carefully opened the pod using tools and a lot of patience. The being inside was heavier than they expected, but together they carried it to the medical bay. Bora had prepared everything she could think of. Oxygen, IV fluids, cooling blankets, monitoring equipment. As they laid the alien on the medical bed, its skin pulsed once with bright light, then dimmed. The glow was fading. "We're losing it," Bora said urgently. "I need to work fast." The crew stood back and watched as Bora began the impossible task of saving a life from another world. Outside, the ocean was calm again. The pieces of the destroyed ship sank slowly into the dark water. And on a small cargo vessel in the middle of nowhere, 6 ordinary people made the choice to do something extraordinary. They chose to help. 3 weeks passed and the alien still hadn't opened its eyes. Bo-Ra barely slept anymore. She stayed in the medical bay for hours, watching the monitors, adjusting the equipment, trying everything she could think of. The alien's condition was stable but critical. The radiation poisoning was slowly killing it from the inside. "You need to rest," Hyunwoo told her on the 10th day. "You can't help if you collapse." "I'm fine," Bo-Ra said, even though her eyes were red and tired. "I almost have the radiation levels under control. Taemin built a special field generator that's helping. I just need more time." Taemin had become obsessed with understanding the alien technology. He spent his days taking careful readings from the pod, studying the symbols, trying to decode how it all worked. The energy systems were beyond anything Earth had created. Even broken, the pod contained enough power to run their entire ship for a year. "Look at this," Taemin showed Hyunwoo one night. "The way the energy flows through these circuits, it's like water finding its own path. It adapts, it learns. This isn't just technology. It's almost alive." Jiwon had more luck with the translation system. After 2 weeks of work, she got the pod's computer to respond. It spoke in sounds they couldn't understand at first, but slowly, the universal translator began to learn their language. The messages were fragments, broken pieces of something larger. Breach contained. Warden protocol engaged. Systems failing? Contamination at 73%. Mission complete. Death acceptable. Warden, Jiwon repeated. It keeps using that word. I think it's a title or rank. And this breach thing, whatever it was, sounds serious. Can you ask it questions? Hyunwoo wanted to know. I tried, but the computer is damaged. I only get recordings, not real answers. The crew shared everything with their patient. Food was already limited on the cargo ship, but they cut their own portions to make special nutrient solutions that Bo-Ra hoped the alien could absorb. Heejin spent hours in the kitchen mixing different compounds, testing what might work for a body that wasn't human. Sang-woo took guard shifts outside the medical bay. Not because he didn't trust the alien, but because he didn't trust what might come looking for it. If something could destroy that ship, he said, then something might come to finish the job. On the 15th day, military boats appeared on the horizon. 3 vessels approaching fast, Jiwon announced. They're broadcasting on military channels. They want us to stop and prepare for boarding. Hyunwoo's stomach dropped. How did they find us? Probably been tracking the radiation signature. Or someone saw us on satellite. The radio crackled. A stern voice came through. Cargo vessel Morningstar, this is the Naval Command. You are ordered to stop your engines and surrender any unknown materials or beings in your possession. This is not a request. Hyunwoo picked up the radio slowly. Naval Command, this is Captain Hyunwoo. We are carrying a critically injured patient who requires immediate medical attention. We cannot surrender anyone at this time. Captain, we know what you have. That patient is a matter of national security. Stand down immediately or we will be forced to board your vessel. The crew gathered on the bridge looking at their captain. What do we do? Heejin asked quietly. Hyunwoo looked at each of them. These were good people who had worked so hard to save a life. They hadn't asked for rewards or recognition. They just did what they thought was right. We run, he said. Sang-woo's eyes went wide. Captain, that's crazy. They'll arrest us. We could go to prison, maybe, Hyunwoo agreed. But if we hand over our patient now, they'll take it to some government lab. They'll study it like a specimen. It won't get the care it needs. It'll die. So what's the plan? Taemin asked. There's an island chain about 40 miles east. Lots of small islands, narrow channels. We know these waters better than they do. We hide until our patient wakes up and can speak for itself. It was dangerous. It was probably illegal, but no one argued. Hyunwoo pushed the engines to full speed. The cargo ship wasn't fast, but it was tough and could handle rough water. They headed for the islands as the military boats gave chase. For 3 days they played cat and mouse, hiding between islands, moving at night, staying quiet during the day. The crew took turns on watch. They told stories to pass the time, sharing memories of home, dreams for the future, reasons they became sailors. I wanted to see the world, Jiwon said one night. I grew up in a small town and thought the ocean was the biggest adventure I could have. Did you ever think the adventure would include an alien? Sang-woo joked, not even once. In the medical bay, Bo-Ra continued her work. The radiation levels were finally dropping. The alien's vital signs were getting stronger. Whatever she was doing, it was working. Talk to it, she told the others. Even if it can't hear us, maybe it helps. Tell it about Earth, about us, about why we're doing this. So they did. Heejin told stories about food and cooking. Taemin explained how machines worked. Sang-woo talked about his family back home. Ji-won described the stars and constellations. Hyun-woo shared why he became a ship captain, how he loved the freedom of the open water. On the 21st day, hidden in a quiet cove, something changed. The alien skin began to glow brighter. The monitors beeped faster. Bora ran to check the readings. Something's happening, she called out. Heart rate increasing. Brain activity spiking. I think it's waking up. The crew rushed to the medical bay. They stood at a distance, not wanting to scare their patient. The alien's eyes moved under the closed lids. Its fingers twitched. Hello, Bora said softly. You're safe. We're here to help. The alien's eyes opened. They were silver, like mirrors reflecting everything around them. The being looked confused, weak, but alive. Very much alive. And in that moment, 6 humans smiled with genuine happiness. They had done it. Against all odds, with limited resources and no knowledge of alien medicine, they had saved a life. They had no idea that this being they saved would soon change their lives forever. The alien sat up fast, too fast. Energy exploded from its body like lightning. The medical equipment sparked and died. Metal walls bent outward. The crew was thrown backward by an invisible force. Wait, Bora shouted, holding up her hands. Please wait. You're safe. The alien's silver eyes darted around the room, taking in everything. Its breathing was rapid, panicked. The glow under its crystalline skin pulsed with bright blue light. It was preparing to fight or run. Bora stepped forward slowly. Carefully, she kept her voice calm and gentle. You were hurt. We found you in the ocean. We've been taking care of you. You're on our ship. You're safe here. The alien stared at her. Its head tilted slightly, listening. The energy around it began to fade. The panic in its eyes changed to confusion. That's it, Bora said. Slow breaths. You're okay. We're not going to hurt you. Hyun-woo moved forward next. Standing beside Bora, he pointed to himself. Hyun-woo, then to her. Bora. He gestured to the others, saying each name. Taemin, Ji-won, Sang-woo, Hyejin. Friends. We are friends. The alien watched this. Its breathing slowed. The light under its skin dimmed to a soft glow. When it spoke, the sound was like music and wind chimes mixed together. The words made no sense. The translator, Ji-won said quickly. Taemin, we need the pod's translator. Taemin ran and came back with a small device he had pulled from the pod. He held it near the alien. The device flickered, then glowed. When the alien spoke again, words came through the translator. Where am I? What happened? You crashed in our ocean, Hyun-woo explained. 3 weeks ago. You were dying from radiation poisoning. We brought you here and tried to heal you. The alien looked down at its hands, then at the medical equipment around it. 3 weeks. I've been unconscious for 3 weeks? Yes, Bora said. Your injuries were very serious. We weren't sure you would survive. Why? The alien's voice was full of genuine confusion. Why did you help me? The question caught them off guard. Hyejin answered simply. Because you needed help. But you don't know me. You don't know my species. I could be dangerous. I could be your enemy. You could be, Sang-woo admitted. But you were hurt. That's all that mattered. The alien was quiet for a long moment. Its silver eyes studied each of them carefully. I am called Velthun. I am a warden of the Celestial Accord. I have lived for 800 of your years. I have seen thousands of species across the galaxy. 800 years. The crew tried to process that. What's a warden? Ji-won asked. We maintain cosmic balance. We prevent disasters. We seal breaches between dimensions. We protect life on a grand scale. Velthun's voice grew sad. My ship was destroyed while sealing a breach near your star. It was a tear in space that would have consumed your entire solar system. I managed to close it, but the energy cost was too high. I thought I would die. I was content with that. At least I had completed my mission. What's a breach? Taemin was fascinated. A hole in reality. A place where the laws of physics break down. If left unchecked, it grows and destroys everything nearby. I was responsible for monitoring this region of space. How did you crash? Hyun-woo wanted to understand. The breach fought back. The energy feedback destroyed my ship. I barely made it to the escape pod. I set it to find the nearest planet with conditions that wouldn't kill me immediately. It chose your Earth. I never expected to wake up. Velthun stood slowly, testing its legs. The crew stayed back, giving it space. The alien was tall, graceful, and even weakened. It carried an air of power and age. "You should not have saved me," Velthan said quietly. "Do you understand what you've done? You've used your limited resources to keep alive a being from another world. You've risked your own safety. You're hiding from your own authorities. Why? What do you want in return?" "Nothing," Hyunwoo said honestly. "We don't want anything. That's impossible. Every species I've known operates on exchange. Service for service. Debt and payment. What do you want? Technology? Long life? Power?" Bora shook her head. "We just wanted you to live. That's all." Velthan looked like he had been struck. "In 800 years, I have never encountered this. Species help their own kind, yes. They make alliances based on mutual benefit. But strangers helping strangers expecting nothing? I've never seen it." "It's what humans do," Yijin said. "At least it's what we try to do. We're not always good at it, but we try." "I have traveled to so many worlds," Velthan said slowly. "I have seen empires rise and fall. I have watched species conquer and destroy each other. I have enforced laws and maintained order across galaxies. But I have forgotten something important." He looked at each of them. "I have forgotten simple kindness." The ship rocked slightly. "Waves from outside. We need to stay hidden," Sang-woo explained. "The military is looking for you. They want to take you away." "And you're protecting me from them?" "Yes," Hyunwoo said. "Even though it puts you in danger?" "Yes." Velthan moved to the small window and looked out at the ocean and islands. "Your world is beautiful. So small and fragile. I was prepared to die to protect it. But you six saved me without knowing any of that. You didn't save me because I'm important or powerful. You saved me because I needed help." "That's right," Bora said. "Then I owe you a debt." "No," Hyunwoo said firmly. "You don't owe us anything." Velthan turned to look at him. "You don't understand. In my culture, in galactic law, a life debt is sacred. You saved my life. That must be acknowledged." "Consider it acknowledged," Jiwon said with a small smile. "We're happy you're alive." "That's enough." The ancient warden stood among 6 ordinary humans and felt something he hadn't felt in centuries. He felt humbled. These beings had no idea how important he was, how much power he held, how many worlds depended on wardens like him. They just saw someone who needed help, and they helped. "I need to contact my people," Velthan said. "They need to know I survived. But more importantly, they need to know about you." "About all of you? Why?" Taemin asked. Velthan's silver eyes seemed to glow. "Because the galaxy needs to learn what I learned today. That true strength isn't in power or technology. It's in the choice to help when you don't have to. And you 6 have shown me that humans possess something very rare in the universe." "What's that?" Yijin asked, compassion without condition. "And that, my friends, is worth more than you can possibly imagine." The alarm woke everyone at dawn. Jiwon was at her station, staring at the screen with wide eyes. "Captain, we have a problem." "A big problem?" Hyunwoo rushed to the bridge, still half asleep. "What is it?" 3 ships just entered Earth's orbit. They're not human. The energy signatures match Velthan's pod, but these are massive, and they're scanning the planet. Velthan appeared in the doorway, moving faster than before. His recovery was progressing well, but he still looked weak. "Show me." Jiwon pulled up the sensor data. Velthan's face changed when he saw it. Fear. "Real fear, collectors," he said quietly. "This is very bad." "What are collectors?" Bora asked. "Scavengers, hunters. They track wounded wardens and kill them for their crystalline cores. A warden's core contains immense power. Collectors sell them to the highest bidder." Velthan touched his chest. "They've been tracking my energy signature. I thought I had masked it, but I was too weak. They followed me here. Can you fight them?" Sang-woo asked. "In my current state? No, I can barely stand. They have 3 ships and dozens of hunters. I would die, and so would anyone near me." Hyunwoo felt his heart sink. "So what do we do?" Velthan straightened his shoulders. "I surrender myself. I go to them. They leave your planet alone." "No," Bora said immediately. "We didn't save you, so you could just die anyway." "You don't understand. Collectors are ruthless. If they can't find me, they'll start destroying things to draw me out. Cities, ships, people. They won't stop until they have what they came for." "Then we hide you better," Taemin said, his mind already working. "I can modify the containment field. Make it block your energy signature completely. They won't be able to find you. And if that doesn't work?" Velthan asked. "Then we run," Hyunwoo said firmly. "We lead them away from the cities, away from innocent people. We buy time until Earth's defenses can respond. You can't be serious, Velthan said. Your ship is small and slow. They would destroy you in seconds. Maybe, Hyunwoo agreed. But we're not going to hand you over. We saved your life. That means something to us. Velthan looked at each of them. You would risk everything? Your lives? Your world for me? Yes, they all said together. The ancient warden closed his eyes. Humans are either the bravest species I've ever met or the most foolish. Possibly both. They had 2 hours before the collector ships finished scanning the Pacific region. Taemin worked frantically, pulling apart equipment and rewiring the containment field. He used pieces from the alien pod, combining human and alien technology in ways that shouldn't work but somehow did. This is crazy, he muttered while working. I'm basically building a wall out of 2 different languages and hoping it makes sense. Will it work? Hyunwoo asked. Maybe, 60% chance. If I had more time, I could get it to 90%. We don't have more time. Do your best. Hyejin and Sangwoo prepared the ship for combat, which was almost funny since the Morning Star was a cargo vessel with no weapons. They secured everything that could fall. They plotted escape routes through shallow waters where the bigger alien ships might not follow. Jiwon created false signals, little bursts of energy that might confuse the collector's sensors. It's like breadcrumbs, she explained. Lead them one way while we go another. Bora made sure Velthan was as healthy as possible. If we have to run, you need to be strong. Can you eat? I can absorb energy from certain foods. But please don't waste your supplies on me. Too late, Heejin said, bringing in a special mixture she had prepared. Drink this. Doctor's orders. Above them, the 3 collector ships moved closer. They were dark and angular, nothing like the smooth design of Velthan's pod. These were ships built for hunting, not exploration. Their scanners swept across the ocean, searching for any trace of warden energy. They're getting close, Jiwon announced. 2 hours until they scan this area. Field is ready, Taemin said, activating his creation. A shimmer of energy surrounded Velthan. How does that feel? Strange. Like being wrapped in a blanket. But it's working. My energy signature is completely masked. Good. Now we wait. The collector ships passed over their position. The crew held their breath. The sensors swept past. For a moment, they thought it worked. Then the lead ship stopped. It turned back. They found something, Jiwon said urgently. Not us exactly, but they detected an anomaly. They're investigating. Start the engines, Hyunwoo ordered. Slow and quiet. Sangwoo, get ready. Jiwon, send those false signals now. The Morning Star moved like a ghost through the water. Jiwon's false signals fired in 3 different directions. The collector ships split up to investigate. But one stayed close, its sensors probing deeper. It's not working, Velthan said. They're too smart. They know I'm here somewhere. A beam of light shot down from the collector ship, scanning the water. It was getting closer to their position. Full speed ahead, Hyunwoo commanded. Forget quiet. We run, now! The cargo ship's engines roared to life. They broke from cover and raced across the open ocean. Behind them, the collector ship reacted instantly. It dropped from the sky, moving impossibly fast. They've locked onto us, Jiwon yelled. Evasive maneuvers. Hyunwoo steered hard, the ship turning sharply. A weapon fired from the collector ship. It hit the water behind them, creating a massive explosion. The Morning Star was thrown forward by the wave. Alarms blared. Water flooded the lower deck. We're hit, Taemin called out. Hull breach in cargo hold 3. Another shot. This one hit the engine room. The ship shuddered and slowed. They're playing with us, Velthan said. They could destroy us completely, but they're being careful. They want me alive. Well, they can't have you, Bora said stubbornly. The second collector ship arrived. Then the third. They surrounded the Morning Star from 3 sides. Weapons charged, ready to fire. The small cargo ship was trapped. This is Collector Prime. A voice came through the radio, harsh and cruel. Surrender the warden and you will not be harmed. Refuse and you will be destroyed. You have 1 minute to decide, Velthan stood. I'm going. Sangwoo stepped in front of him. No, you're not. Move aside, human. I won't let you die for me. And we won't let you die for us. That's not how this works. Hyunwoo looked at his crew. They were injured, scared, facing enemies they couldn't possibly defeat. But not one of them looked ready to give up. They had made their choice weeks ago when they pulled a dying alien from the ocean. They chose to help. And they would see it through. 30 seconds, the collector voice warned. The crew stood together between Velthun and the collectors, 6 humans against 3 warships. It should have been hopeless. It should have been suicide. But in that moment, Velthun understood something. These humans weren't being brave because they thought they could win. They were being brave because it was the right thing to do. They would stand between him and death not because of duty or debt, but because that's who they were. "Time's up," the collector said. "Die with honor, at least." The weapons fired. The weapons never hit. Light exploded from Velthun's body, brighter than the sun. Energy poured out of him in waves. The collector weapons struck an invisible wall and bounced away harmlessly. The force pushed the 3 ships backward through the sky. "No!" Bora screamed. "Velthun, stop! This will kill you!" But Velthun didn't stop. He raised his arms and the light grew stronger. His crystalline skin was glowing white-hot now. Cracks appeared, like glass under too much pressure. He was using the very essence of his being, the core energy that kept him alive. "You 6 saved my life," Velthun said, his voice carrying power that shook the air. "You asked nothing in return. You gave everything you had. You stood between me and death without hesitation. That is worth more than 800 years of service to the Accord. That deserves to be acknowledged. Please," Hyunwoo begged, "don't do this. We'll find another way." "There is no other way. The collectors will keep coming. They will tear your world apart to find me. But I can stop them. I can protect you, not just today, forever." The shield around the morning star solidified. It became a perfect sphere of energy, completely impenetrable. The collectors fired again and again, using their strongest weapons. Nothing could touch it. Inside the sphere, Velthun collapsed to his knees. Blood silver and glowing dripped from his mouth. "I need to contact the Celestial Accord now. Jiwon, can your communication system reach space?" "Yes, but," Jiwon hesitated. "You're dying. Using more energy will kill you." "I know. Help me anyway, please." Jiwon looked at Hyunwoo. The captain nodded slowly. She activated the communication system and pointed it at the stars. Velthun placed his hand on the transmitter. Energy flowed through it, boosting the signal to impossible strength. "This is Warden Velthun. Authorization code Celestial 779 Prime. I am invoking Emergency Protocol Omega. Witnesses are required. This message will reach all Accord channels." In space stations across the galaxy, communication officers stopped what they were doing. The signal was loud, clear, and carried the weight of absolute authority. Other wardens paused. Entire civilizations listened. I was wounded completing my mission to seal the dimensional breach in System Sol 3. My ship was destroyed. I crashed on the planet known as Earth. I expected to die. The crew watched, tears in their eyes, as Velthun spoke to the entire galaxy. 6 beings of the species human found me. They had limited resources, limited knowledge. They risked their safety, their freedom, and their lives to save mine. They asked nothing in return. When I was pursued by collectors, they stood between me and death. They chose compassion over safety. They chose my life over their own. Velthun's voice grew stronger, filled with power and purpose. These 6 humans, Hyunwoo, Bora, Taimin, Jiwon, Sangwoo, and Heejin, have shown me what I had forgotten. They reminded me why we wardens exist. Not to enforce laws, not to maintain order, but to protect the kind of goodness that they represent. He stood, even though it clearly hurt him. His body was breaking apart, but his will was iron. "By the authority granted to me as a warden of the Celestial Accord, I declare these 6 humans as kin sworn to my line. They are under my protection. They are recognized by galactic law. Any who harm them will answer to the full might of the Accord." The collector ships stopped firing. On their bridges, the crews heard the broadcast and understood what it meant. Kinsworn status was sacred. It was law. Attacking Kinsworn meant war with the entire Celestial Accord, but Velthun wasn't finished. Furthermore, I declare the planet Earth and its solar system under Warden protection. By my word and my authority, this system is recognized by the Accord. First contact protocols are established. This world and its people are to be treated with respect and dignity. Hyunwoo grabbed Velthun as he started to fall. "That's enough. You did it. They're backing off." You can rest now. Not yet, Velthan whispered. One more thing, the most important thing. He looked at each of the crew members. His silver eyes were dimming, but they held warmth and gratitude. You saved me expecting nothing, but I must give you something, not as payment, as acknowledgement, as recognition of who you are. We don't need anything, Bora said, crying now. I know. That's exactly why you deserve this. Velthan placed his hands on his chest. The light inside him pulsed. What I'm about to do is forbidden. It goes against 800 years of tradition, but traditions are broken when they stand in the way of what's right. What are you doing? Taman asked. I'm sharing my essence with you. A warden's power is meant to be passed only in death, only to another warden. But you six have earned the right to carry it, not because you're strong, because you're good. No, Sangwoo said. We can't take that from you. You're not taking it. I'm giving it freely. Please, let me do this. Let me acknowledge what you've done. Velthan's body began to glow with different colors. 6 streams of light separated from his core, each one unique, each one perfect for the person it would reach. The light found Hyunwoo first. It wrapped around him like a gentle wave. He felt it enter his mind, his heart. Suddenly he could see patterns he never noticed before. He understood tactics and strategy in ways that felt natural, the gift of leadership and awareness. Bora's light was green and warm. It flowed into her hands, her healer's hands. She felt life in new ways, understood biology at a deep level, the gift of healing and preservation. Taemin's light was silver and electric. It danced around his fingers, his engineer's mind. Technology spoke to him now in clear voices. He could see how things worked, how to build and create. The gift of synthesis and innovation. Jiwon's light was blue like deep space. It filled her mind with languages, with understanding. She could feel the stars calling. Navigation became instinct. Communication became art. The gift of connection and guidance. Sangwoo's light was gold and strong. It settled over him like armor. He felt danger before it arrived. He could protect others with more than just his body. The gift of protection and courage. Heejin's light was warm like a campfire. It showed her how things were made, what they needed, how to use resources perfectly. The gift of provision and care. When the lights faded, the 6 humans were changed. Not dramatically, not obviously. But they were different. They carried something of Velthan now. They carried pieces of what it meant to be a warden. Velthan fell, his energy nearly gone. The crew caught him, lowered him gently to the deck. He was smiling. Now you understand, he said weakly. These gifts come with responsibility. You'll feel it. You'll know when someone needs help. And you'll have the power to give it. We would have helped anyway, Hyunwoo said. I know. That's why I chose you. The collector ships were leaving. They had no choice. The humans were kinsworn now, protected by ancient law. To attack them would mean the end of the collectors as a species. They retreated into space, broadcasting warnings to others. Stay away from Earth. Stay away from the kinsworn. Velthan's breathing was shallow. Bora checked his vital signs. He's stabilizing. The energy transfer nearly killed him, but he's going to survive. Of course I'll survive, Velthan said with a weak laugh. I have 6 guardians now. You won't let me die. Damn right we won't, Sangwoo said. Above them the shield faded. The morning sun broke through the clouds, and 6 ordinary humans sat with an ancient alien who had just changed their lives forever, who had acknowledged their kindness in the most unusual way possible, by making them guardians, by giving them power. Not as a reward, but as recognition of what they already were. Protectors, helpers, people who chose compassion when it would have been easier to walk away. The days after Velthan's declaration were strange and overwhelming. News spread across Earth faster than anyone expected. Videos of the collector ships and the energy shield went viral. Governments scrambled to make sense of what happened. Scientists demanded answers. The military wanted to know everything about the alien technology and the gifts. the crew had received, but the 6 crew members were more concerned about their friend. Velthan recovered slowly in the medical bay. His crystalline skin had lost some of its glow, dimmed by the energy he had given away. Bora monitored him constantly, still amazed that her alien patient had survived such a massive transfer of power. "You should have died," she told him one morning. "By every measurement I have, what you did should have killed you." "It almost did," Velthan admitted. "But I've lived 800 years. My core is old and deep. It can regrow what was lost, slowly, but it will return." "And us?" Hyunwoo asked. "What exactly did you give us?" Velthan sat up carefully. "Fragments of my warden essence. Each one tailored to your nature, your strengths. You already had these qualities. I simply amplified them. But why?" Ji-won wanted to understand. "You said it was forbidden. It is. Was. Warden essence is sacred. We're meant to pass it only to chosen successors and only upon death. But that tradition was born from fear and control. The Accord was afraid of what might happen if others gained our power." Velthan looked at each of them. "But you 6 proved that power in the right hands is not dangerous. It's necessary." Taemin had been testing his new abilities. He could understand machines now in ways that should have taken years of study. "This is incredible. I can see how energy flows through circuits. I can build things I only dreamed about before." "That's your gift," Velthan explained. "Technological synthesis. You see patterns in how things work. You can combine different systems, create innovations. But you'll also feel when something is wrong, when technology is being used to harm rather than help." Ji-won had discovered she could understand any language now, human or alien. She had listened to a broadcast in Mandarin and understood it perfectly without translation. How is this possible? Universal communication. You don't just translate words. You understand meaning, context, emotion. You'll be able to navigate not just by stars but by feeling the patterns of space itself. Sang-woo felt different too. More aware. "I knew the collectors were coming before anyone told me. I felt the danger, protective instinct. You can sense threats to those you care about. You can create barriers, shields. Not physical ones made of energy like mine, but shields of awareness and quick action. You'll always know when someone needs protection." Hyejin had tested her gift in the kitchen. She took limited ingredients and somehow made a perfect meal that satisfied everyone. "I understood exactly what everyone needed nutritionally and emotionally. I knew what would comfort them. Resource optimization and provision. You see potential in everything. You'll never waste what you have. You'll always know how to make things work, how to care for others with whatever is available." Bora's gift was the strongest and most obvious. She had touched Sang-woo's injured arm and felt his pain as if it were her own. Her hands had glowed faintly green and his wounds had healed in seconds. "I can feel what's wrong with people now. Not just physically, but emotionally too. Healing and preservation. You understand life at its deepest level. You can mend not just bodies but also spirits. You'll know when someone is sick before they do. You'll sense when people are broken inside." Hyunwoo was the last to understand his gift. It came when he was planning their next move, considering multiple options. He saw everything clearly, like a game board with all pieces visible. "I can see outcomes, possibilities, the best paths forward. Strategic awareness and enhanced leadership. You see patterns in chaos. You understand how actions connect. People will follow you not just because you command, but because they trust your vision. You'll lead with wisdom, not just authority." A knock came on the ship's door. 3 government officials and 2 military officers stood outside, along with a team of scientists. They had been requesting meetings for days. Hyunwoo let them in. They were polite but firm. They wanted answers. "What you've become," one official said carefully, "is unprecedented. You have alien abilities, power that could be dangerous in the wrong hands." "Are we being accused of something?" Sang-woo asked, his protective instinct flaring. No, but you must understand our concern. We need to study these gifts, understand them, make sure they're safe." Bora stepped forward. "We're not lab experiments. We're still human. We're still ourselves. These gifts don't control us. They're just tools. Tools that could be weapons," a military officer pointed out. Velthan appeared in the doorway, still weak but standing tall. The officials stepped back instinctively. "These humans are under galactic protection. They are kinsworn. Any attempt to control them, study them against their will, or treat them as weapons would violate the Accord's law." "We don't answer to galactic law," the official said. Your planet does now. First contact has been made. Earth is recognized. You are part of the galactic community whether you like it or not, and these 6 are ambassadors of what humanity can be. The officials looked uncomfortable. The scientists were excited and frustrated at the same time. The military officers seemed torn between duty and curiosity. What will you do with these powers? One scientist asked the crew directly. Hyunwoo answered, the same thing we've been doing. We'll help people who need it. That's vague. Maybe, but it's honest. We didn't ask for this. We just pulled an injured being from the ocean and tried to save his life. Everything that came after, that was Velthan's choice, not ours. A choice I stand by, Velthan said. You can test them if they agree. You can ask questions, but you cannot control them. They are free to use their gifts as they see fit. The meeting ended with uncertain agreements. The crew would cooperate with some tests. They would answer questions, but they would not be imprisoned, controlled, or studied like specimens. Earth's government didn't like it, but they had no choice. Galactic law was clear. Over the next week, other wardens arrived on Earth. They came in ships of light and energy, beings of different shapes and sizes, but all carrying the same ancient authority. They wanted to see the humans who had been given warden essence. Most were skeptical. Some were angry. You broke the most sacred law, one elderly warden named Kelmora told Velthan. You gave our power to primitives. I gave it to beings who earned it, Velthan replied calmly. These primitives saved my life expecting nothing in return. When was the last time anyone did that for you? Kelmora was quiet. Another warden, younger and curious, asked to meet the crew. His name was Rindal. He spoke with each of them, testing their gifts, asking questions. Remarkable, he said after speaking with Haya Jin. Your gift is subtle but powerful. You could feed armies with scraps. You could solve resource shortages. I just want to make sure people have what they need, Heijin said simply. Rindal smiled. That's why it works. You have no grand ambitions, no desire for power. You just want to help. He reported back to the other wardens. Velthan was right. These humans are different. They don't see the gifts as power to be hoarded. They see them as responsibility, tools for service. Slowly, the wardens' attitudes changed. They began to understand what Velthan had done. He hadn't just saved 6 humans. He had created something new. 6 guardians who had the power of wardens but the hearts of ordinary people who chose kindness. It was unusual. It was unprecedented. It was possibly the most important thing any warden had done in thousands of years. Late one night, Velthan found Hyunwoo standing on the deck, looking at the stars. Do you regret it? Velthan asked. Being changed like this? Hyunwoo thought about it. No, it's strange and scary sometimes. But I think we can do real good with these gifts, help people on a scale we never could before. That's why I chose you. You understand what I had forgotten. Power without compassion is tyranny, but compassion with power can change the world. We're still just 6 people, Hyunwoo said. 6 people who were acknowledged in an unusual way, Velthan agreed. 6 people who will show the galaxy what humans are capable of. And that, my friend, is worth breaking a few ancient traditions. 3 months had passed since the day everything changed. The Morning Star no longer looked like a simple cargo ship. Taemin had spent weeks upgrading it using his new abilities and some alien technology that the Accord had provided. The hull was reinforced with materials stronger than anything Earth had created. The engines could now travel through space. The communication system could reach across the galaxy. But despite all the changes, it was still their ship. Still home. Earth itself was adjusting to its new reality. First contact had been made. Alien vessels visited regularly, bringing diplomats, traders, and curious beings who wanted to see the planet that produced the 6 humans who earned warden essence. Some governments welcomed the attention. Others were frightened by it. The crew of the Morning Star, now called the Guardian 6 by the media, tried to stay out of politics. They had a different mission. Hyunwoo stood on the bridge reading the latest distress call. It had come from a mining colony on one of Jupiter's moons. Equipment failure. People trapped. The official rescue team wouldn't arrive for another 6 hours. We can be there in 2 hours, Jiwon said, already plotting the course. Her navigation abilities made space travel feel natural. Then we go, Hyunwoo decided. Everyone ready? The crew assembled quickly. Bora had her medical kit. Taemin brought his tools. Sangwoo checked the security systems. Haijin prepared emergency supplies. They had done this 17 times in the past 3 months. Each time they had saved lives. The morning star lifted off smoothly, breaking through Earth's atmosphere like it was paper. Taman had made sure the ship could handle anything. In the co-pilot seat, Velthan watched with satisfaction. The warden had recovered most of his strength. His crystalline skin glowed bright again. But he was different now, softer somehow, more patient. He had chosen to stay on Earth, living with the crew, training them in their new abilities. "You don't have to come with us every time," Yunwu told him. "I know, but I want to. Besides, someone needs to make sure you don't do anything too reckless." "Us? Reckless?" Bora laughed. "We're the most careful, reckless people you'll ever meet." The journey to Jupiter took 2 hours. They found the colony exactly where the distress call said it would be. The mining station was damaged, life support failing. Through the windows, they could see people waving frantically. 47 people inside, G1 reported. "Mostly human, but I'm reading 3 alien signatures too. Mixed crew." "Oxygen running out," Bora added, sensing the distress of the trapped people. "We need to hurry." Taman was already working. "I can bypass their airlock remotely. Give me 2 minutes." He connected to the station's systems through their ship. His fingers danced over the controls, understanding the technology instinctively. The airlock opened. "We're in." "Sang-Woo, you're with me." Bora, set up triage. Hee-Jin, check their supplies. G1, keep the ship ready in case we need to evacuate everyone. They moved like a well-trained team because that's what they had become. Sang-Woo sensed danger spots and guided people around them. Taman fixed the life support system, his hands moving with precision that looked almost magical. Bora healed the injured, her touch gentle but powerful. One of the trapped miners, a woman named Young-Mi, grabbed Hyunwoo's arm. "You're them. The Guardian 6, we heard about you." "We're just here to help," Hyunwoo said. "You came so fast." The official rescue team said 6 hours. "We happen to be closer. Don't worry. Everyone will be safe," and they were. Within an hour, the life support was fixed, the injured were healed, and the station was stable. The crew wanted to pay them. The Guardian 6 refused. "This is what we do," Bora explained. "We help people who need it. That's all." On the trip back to Earth, the crew was quiet, satisfied but tired. They had saved 47 lives today. It felt good. "Right? You're becoming famous," Velthan observed. 17 successful rescues in 3 months. "People are noticing." "We don't do it for fame," Sang-Woo said. "I know. That's why people love you." Back on Earth, requests for help kept coming. Some were big, like the Jupiter rescue. Others were small. A lost child who Ji-won found using her cosmic sense. A failing hospital where Bora helped heal dozens of patients. A community that needed clean water, which Hyejin solved by optimizing their resources. Not everyone approved of what they were doing. Some politicians called them vigilantes. Some people were scared of their alien powers. But more people were grateful. More people were inspired. Other wardens visited regularly now. Kilmora, the elderly warden who had first criticized Velthan's decision, came to observe the Guardian 6 in action. She watched them rescue a sinking ship during a storm, saw how they worked together, how they prioritized saving lives over everything else. "I was wrong," she told Velthan privately. "What you did wasn't just breaking tradition. It was creating something better." "They were already this way," Velthan said. "I just gave them the tools to do more." "No," Kelmora corrected. "You reminded us what wardens are supposed to be. We've spent so long enforcing laws and maintaining order that we forgot why we do it. We forgot about simple kindness." She proposed something radical to the Celestial Accord, that the Guardian 6 become official representatives of Earth, that they be trained further, given access to more resources, so they could help on an even larger scale. Some wardens agreed. Others still had doubts, but the decision was made. The Guardian 6 would be supported, trained, and recognized officially. Earth would have its own protectors, grown from compassion rather than duty. On a warm evening, the crew gathered on the deck of the Morning Star, which was docked at a quiet harbor. They shared a meal that Hyejin had prepared. It was simple food, but perfect for what each person needed. "So what happens now?" Taman asked. "We're official Galactic Guardians." "That's weird." "We do what we've always done," Hyunwoo said. "We help people. The title doesn't change that. But now we can help on a bigger scale," Ji-won pointed out. "The Accord is offering us training, access to technology. We could do so much more. As long as we don't lose who we are," Bora said. We help because we want to, not because we have to. Velthan raised his glass. To the Guardian 6, the humans who saved a warden and changed the galaxy. They all laughed and raised their glasses. It was strange to think about. 3 months ago, they were just a cargo ship crew. Now they were known across multiple worlds. But when Hyunwoo looked at his friends, he saw the same people. They hadn't changed, not really. They were still Bora, who cared too much. Taemin, who could fix anything. Jiwon, who loved exploring. Sang-woo, who protected everyone. Haijin, who made sure no one went hungry. And himself, just trying to do the right thing. The powers were nice. The recognition was flattering. But what mattered most was this. They had each other, and they had a purpose. A new distress call came through. A cargo ship caught in an asteroid field. Crew injured. Drive systems failing. That's only an hour away, Jiwon said. Hyunwoo looked at his crew. Ready to help some people? They all smiled. It was the only question that mattered. Ready to help. Always, they said together. The morning star lifted off into the night sky. Inside, 6 humans who had been acknowledged in the most unusual way carried on their mission. They had been given power not as a reward, but as recognition of who they already were. They had been changed not by the gifts they received, but by the choice they made to save a dying alien without expecting anything in return. In a galaxy that measured worth by conquest and power, 6 ordinary humans had proven that the greatest strength was compassion, that true heroism was helping others simply because you could, that the most important power was the choice to be kind when it would have been easier to walk away. And as their ship disappeared into the stars, the Guardian 6 carried with them a simple truth, that in the end, the most unusual acknowledgement anyone could receive was being recognized for the goodness they already possessed. The galaxy was watching, learning, and slowly beginning to understand what Velthan had known from the moment he woke up to find 6 strangers who had saved his life. Humanity's greatest gift to the universe wasn't technology or strength. It was the reminder that compassion, freely given and expecting nothing in return, was the rarest and most valuable thing in all of existence. The story of the Guardian 6 was just beginning, but the lesson they taught was eternal. Sometimes the most heroic thing you can do is simply help someone who needs it, and sometimes that simple act of kindness can change everything.